Hi, I'm Paul. For the last few videos I've been talking about seeking, also about thoughts, so seeking thoughts and ideas. So for this video I'm going to take a little bit closer towards non-duality, go a little bit further past the thoughts. So we have talked in the last few videos that we do have a part of our mind which seems to be attached to thoughts. So we drift away into ideas, drift away into thoughts. And if you really kind of look at it in your own mind, you can even notice when all of a sudden a thought pops up or an idea. And then you go, oh, that's a great idea. And then you start digging deeper and deeper. And you might know it's at this point that you've disappeared from the now. But this is only really kind of one level of the mind. See, we could call this mind a conscious mind, which seems reasonable to say because that's partly the mind we seem to be mostly conscious of, the bit which does words, thoughts, and ideas. But we can take this to a step further and talk about the subconscious mind. So we're kind of under the impression that the subconscious mind is invisible to us, just works in the background. And perhaps we even think that's how it's supposed to be. To me, the subconscious mind does a little bit more. You see, in one sense, we kind of create an illusion of the world through thoughts and ideas. Through our conscious mind, we describe things in words. But even if you're attached to thoughts, you've still got a picture of what's around you. You're still experiencing, whether you're paying attention to it or not, whether you're caught up in thoughts or not, you've still got everything that's around, even the body. I've spoken before in some of my other videos that we do not have access to the outside world. I know you think you do. I see a tree and that tree is over there. But the only image of that tree that I have access to is in my mind. It's an image in my brain that I created of that tree. And in my brain I say that tree is in that direction. But like I say, that we don't have access to anything that's outside of our mind. So that would mean everything that I see, everything that I touch, hear, smell, is all inside of my mind. But it's not connected to the bit which makes the thoughts. So I can create an image of the tree in my head, and then I could add words to it. We call that a tree. It's about so tall, and so on. But the part of the mind which creates all the images is the part of the mind which is the subconscious. But then in a sense we get attached to that. We create in our subconscious mind the outside world. We create in our subconscious mind the body. And all of this creation in a subconscious mind has been placed there over the years that we've lived. A lot of it's kind of implanted in there by thoughts and ideas too. Now let's imagine when you go to sleep at night and you fall asleep, you have a dream. Notice how in the dream you've still got images. Only one thing you haven't got in your dream is thoughts, talk, language. I don't know whether you've ever noticed in your dream that you don't really talk. In fact, in frightening situations, have you ever tried to scream in your dream? You can't. So it does kind of seem to me that when you fall asleep, your thinking mind is what goes to sleep. You've still got a mind which creates images, experiences, feelings, even in your dream. So then in this waking life, like I say, we don't have access to the outside, so everything that I experience is just a creation inside of my mind. So I know a lot of you kind of say, well, I want to change. I don't like the way my life is. I don't like my thoughts. But then if you've got negative thoughts all the time, this is going into that subconscious mind, what creates the world that you see. So to try to change the world that we see, the world that we think we live in, the world which is only created inside of our mind, we have to try to reprogram the subconscious mind. Which means that we have to start inputting something different than we've been doing in the past. Also, one good way of trying to reprogram the subconscious mind is to try to silence the talking mind. So we try to silence all the ideas and suggestions, beliefs, and we try to connect entirely to subconscious mind. And then we try to believe that what we want to change is already done. This is called manifesting. And as long as we believe that it's already done, and try to imagine what it feels like to already have that, all the feelings and emotions of what it would be like to actually not just have it, but to be it. And this goes directly to the subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind is what actually creates the world that you live in. And I did say I would go more towards non-duality, because this subconscious mind isn't actually a consciousness. So consciousness being universal consciousness, meaning everything is one, all people, all trees, and then out of that consciousness we create our own individual world, which is why some people call it an illusion. So consciousness itself is to say that not so much that you have no body, although you can say that, but even in that space, the body still has to continue. But you know that you are not. You fully know that you are not the body or the mind. So let's say fear arises. Perhaps firstly you think distressing thoughts, And then that projects onto your subconscious mind that starts to create the images of fear, the sensations. See, this is only in the mind, both minds. But in consciousness, you can be aware that there is fear happening, but it's not happening to you because you're past the mind and the body. Even the sky is you in consciousness. The clouds pass by. Maybe some of the clouds cover over consciousness like our thoughts do, and then they blow past, revealing consciousness again. The point is in this, a lot of us are talking about thoughts, saying that it's just our thoughts that we need to understand aren't real, or should I say the attachment onto thoughts. But we also have an attachment onto the body and the world and the sensations. And I think that's separate to the place of the mind which holds the thoughts, which is why I suggest that's probably the subconscious mind that creates all the images. But like I say, we have no access to the actual outside world, just our interpretation of the outside world. That's even if there's an outside world in the first place. But if we look at consciousness itself, we would suggest there isn't an outside world or an inside world, just the one. Anyway, thanks for listening.